1380Z. Conklin and Company with 1380Z Action News anchor Lee Conklin. First with what's happening behind the headlines. And Take 3, our panel of political analysts.
Morning, everyone, and welcome into another edition of Conklin and Company. Today on the program, the great debate, or was it? We're going to look back on the face-off in Denver. What most say was a clear win for Mitt Romney. What that could mean as we look ahead to the next 3 debates. VP clash this week, 2 more presidential debates leading up to November 6th. Also, the jobs report out late this week. We'll take a look at what that means. And we'll also examine the efforts to help the developmentally disabled in our community. But first, 2 women really on a mission to help their daughters and others like them who have the accelerated aging disease progeria. And if you've been around these parts a while, you may be familiar with sweet Kaylee Helko, an 9-year-old Spitfire from Monclova. Just a few miles away, there's Carly Cudzia and her family. Carly, just 2 years old, and Kaylee are just 2 of 96 children in the world diagnosed with progeria. And today, their moms join us in studio ahead of one of the big fundraisers of the year for the Progeria Research Foundation. So we welcome in Marla Helko and Heather Cudzia. Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it. We talked about, if you've been around these parts, you may know Kaylee. She's become a celebrity of sorts around here, Marla, and people are just starting to get to know Carly as well. And I talked about you 2 being on a mission to help the Progeria Research Foundation. So here we are. Where do we stand right now, Marla?
Well, we're gearing up for another fundraiser. We're having the 7th annual Kaylee's course, and we're hoping to, raise money to continue those drug trials. And we've done 2, and they're ready to start a 3rd one if the FDA will approve it. So we're raising money for all the funds and the research for that.
And it is it's become bigger than I imagine you ever thought it could be.
Last year we had around 1,000 people that came to support, and it was an amazing sight to see.
And based on the weather this weekend, chilly yesterday, which was Saturday morning, temperatures in the 30s, weather usually pretty good for Kaylee's course in October.
Well, last year, I think it got close to 80. Mm-hmm. We were shedding our sweatshirts,
right.
And so I'm hoping it'll be a little warmer than it is this weekend.
Yeah, and 80, a little bit warm for people who like to run. So yeah, we'll find the happy medium for everybody out there.
70 would be great.
That is this Saturday. It's at the Monclova Elementary School. Registration is in the morning, 9 o'clock or so,
yes.
in the community center
and that's a school, Monclova School.
Monclova Elementary School. The race and walk actually gets underway 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You send the walkers out early, though, Marla?
No, the runners always start first because they're timed,
okay.
And the walkers stand behind. And then after the event, we always have a silent auction. We have refreshments. We have face painting and just a bunch of different activities.
It's kind of a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's our big thing that we do every year.
Yeah. And for Carly, you're coming off a big fundraiser a couple of weeks ago,
calm,
right?
cool, and collected.
It was a big deal over the Pinnacle. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was our 2nd annual Carly's Party. We had it at the Pinnacle. It was a huge success. So we had music and silent auction and raffle baskets. And in our first year, we raised about $26,000. And this year, slightly over $50,000.
Wow.
So we were pretty pumped and really excited about a huge success.
Your daughters have the challenge of dealing with progeria. How about you 2? I imagine you're kind of coming together and championing the cause as well. How do you guys, you came here together for this show, and you only live a couple of miles apart. Incredible coincidence. And then, you're together in this fight. Maybe you can speak to that, Mom.
It's nice to have, Heather so close, and if she needs to talk to me about something and I need to talk to her about something, she's there, and, we just try to deal with it best we can. And the kids both of them are doing really well, so I think that makes it easy for both of us.
And there we see a video from Kaylee's course. And then Heather, speak to it. I guess maybe a mini partnership that's taking place now.
I would say I feel bad. I feel that I am better off, Marla and the Helko family really has just done so much for progeria in our area that we feel really lucky, that you've done so much before us. And I mean, as small as when we were diagnosed, they handed us a handbook and said, this is advice from parents, just things to look out for, things that you might want to check, give to your doctors, your dentist, your orthopedic, whomever. The Helkos didn't have that book. They wrote the book. So little things like that. I mean, I can call and ask questions. I don't know that Marla can ask me anything. I won't know the answer. But you know, it is. I think she knows that I, out of anybody else, would understand and understand the situation. So I feel really lucky. I don't know that I can offer the same thing.
But you do. Like if I'm having a bad day, you understand that a lot of people wouldn't. So.
And when you talk about less than 100 kids having this disease, I mean, I guess strength is just a phone call away for you two. And where do things stand right now, Marla? You talked about the clinical trial. So what about progress in finding the cure?
The first trial, the results finally just came out, and they had some promising news with the arteries are looking better, which is to me the most important thing, because all the kids die of heart attack and stroke. So if you can do that, then it of course prolongs life. So we're excited about that. And then there's a second clinical trial. No, those results are not out. But then they've even
Kaylee is taking part in
both.
Well,
okay. The first one's done, and then the second one she's currently in right now, and we're still on it. We haven't closed it because we're waiting to see if we can get the third clinical trial approved, so we can just step right into that.
And what's the schedule for Carly, Heather, going forward?
Schedule? I've asked for one of those.
That wasn't with the book.
No, there was no schedule. So, you know, like Marla said, the first trial was one drug, and those results have just come out. The second trial included that first drug and then 2 additional. And then the third trial should have 4 drugs total. The new one being rapamycin. And I don't know if you remember, but that big news came out late summer, early fall of last year. So, you know, as soon as they're kind of working with Boston Children's and the FDA, along with the Progeria Research Foundation, to figure out what the best protocol for testing is, safest, and things like that. And so, you know, Marla and I had this conversation last summer. We're ready. We were thinking it'd be in the fall. We thought maybe it'd be the first of the year, right? But it really is. They're just trying to nail down what's the safest course of action and get it all approved. So once it's approved, I think we're raising our hands. Yeah. But I don't know when that is.
Okay.
It's very frustrating.
Well, I know you'll let us know when that begins, and we want to remind everybody once again, this coming Saturday, it's Kaylee's course over Monclova Elementary School. You can go to sweetkaylee.com for more information, or just show up right there at 9 o'clock, and they'll find a place for you, right? Thanks to both of you for coming in. It'll be a great event, and congratulations on the success of Carly's party. Heather Cudzia and Marla Halko, thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we're going to come back in just a minute. Conklin & Company continues right after this.